I'll show you the waveform. The original bass line is that one there, which is quite full. So I thought I'd just chop it into things and make the bass more a rhythm. So the bass now goes like this. So it's got more of a funk to it. So it's like from years ago, we're not young kids, we like music with movement and feeling. So we had that, and I thought, okay, let's add a bit more electronic, so a bit of a Simmons tom. But you can't really hear it, but in the mix it gives like a little sheen to the track. Of course, a nice little snare verb with reverb. If you reverse the snare just before the end of the bar, it gives you that little feeling, so it just takes it into the groove a bit better. Steve will get the bit. So you got the little snare fills and the little patterns which give it a little movement. And that's as far as me and Ben got.
Right.
Then they pass it over to me and I ruin it, usually. No, I kind of, as the, I don't know, I kind of try and spend as much time as possible with lyrics, but obviously we didn't have, that luxury today.
We had tonight, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, just on my way over here, I was kind of, just thinking, going back to that whole thing of trying to represent something that's like a spirit of Ibiza, or maybe, while we're here and stuff, and, and just thinking, everybody's excitement is, the anticipation of going out, they're going to go and see their favourite DJ, or they're going to their favourite club and stuff, and I just wanted to write some stuff down, obviously based on what the guys had put together, and come up with something along these lines. Do you want me to?
Do you want to sing something live?
Well, now you have these amazing portable studios on the road, like with M Audio, and you can pretty much get something decent. So
literally, we would send Steve a 8 or 16 bar loop of the track. Like, I'm sure lots of people here are producers and they make tracks. They send to people to put lines on. Some come back, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But that's the way it happens. And this is kind of what we ended up getting. Obviously, we've got the chorus guitar in and some other extra bits if I've just added.
But if I do the a cappella first, shall I? It's like, simply the best.
Yeah.
Better than... Oh, sorry, it's not Benidorm.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. So
this is what we sort of ended up with.
So that kind of element of maybe the whole spirit of Ibiza going out and stuff. Tonight, my friend, got this feeling that I hope will never end. Tonight, I see.
Turn some tambourine to that, I reckon.
These precious moments that mean everything.
Every chorus needs a tambourine.
I wanna be.
Extra sips.
Right here.
So that's what he kind of sends back to us. And then leaves it to us to get on with finishing the record.
Yeah, I can't do anything to...
Which I hate. I can make records all day long, but finishing them is kind of his job.
What do you think the hardest part of the mix is to finish? I mean, is there any key elements that really you find difficult?
I mean, if you're talking about literally just like mixing down, then it's definitely making the vocals sit right with the track. And like just the nature of the band, we've always sort of trodden that line between, that kind of electronic and live. So, just every time you put a live element into that kind of electronic backing, it trying to make those two things sit is that's probably the biggest job, I think.
And how do you know when to stop? When's it finished?
When we start arguing. It's got to be...
when we go to the pub.
Yeah, when it's last orders.
So is that the reason for the 4-year hiatus?
I've just got out the pub after 4 years. Yeah. It is, if you're producing records, it's hard because some people like Daft Punk will have a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, a bass line, and a synth line, and the record sound incredible. And then someone like me would go in and put 57 things in it, and it sounds like a piece of shit. So you can overdo things, you can underdo things, but to be honest, if you've got a great kick, a great snare, a great bass line, a great chord run, a great vocal, then you should have a great record.
Fantastic, excellent. And so the recording world is...
We haven't got any of them.
We've got 24 hours, yeah. So the recording world's changed quite a lot from, when us type old people started making...
Tape machines.
You used to have tape machines, an engineer, a programmer, a tape op, a producer, musicians. And then, nowadays a lot of musicians, specifically electronic musicians, have pretty much have to take on all those roles. I mean, is that a challenge to try and be an engineer and a writer and a producer?
Yeah, totally. When I started, like 16, I was tape up in Faulkner Studios up in Camden, and it was just literally that, just like lining the tape machines and making a tea. Yeah, exactly. And then just sort of work in that environment in the live studio, and then as obviously as we all know, like the technology has just come on, and whereas it is a blessing that you can sit at home and you can kind of pretty much create and finish a record just right at home. At the same time, it does bring added pressures, because all of a sudden you're having to like put on like many hats that sometimes it is quite nice to be able to bounce off people, and if you've got one guy just sitting there having to make a decision on the mix, on the arrangement, on the production values, you can bring pressure on yourself. Right. At the same time, it's a bit of a blessing and a curse, I think.
I think another thing is, not trying to think the world, but when we were younger making records, it would cost you around £4,000 or £5,000 to actually make a record, because you go in the studio, you hire a studio for a few days, you're having a tape op, you have an engineer, you get it done. And now you can buy a laptop, you can buy Reason, you can make a record. So I think it's opened up more. So it's not saying making music's not for the rich, if that be the thing. It's anyone who's got ideas and a laptop now can make a song, which I think is great.
Which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Really good thing, yeah.
It's now become a creative thing rather than something that you need money to do.
And say if you're working on a track and there's one bit that just doesn't work, how long before you give up? And start, or what do you do? What do you do at that point? Yes.
Well, the beauty of having automation is you can leave that track and go on something else for however much period of time it takes to, one day you're in the shower and ping, I know what's the matter with that track. Right. And then, you can wander back into the studio and bring the track back up and hopefully remedy the problem.
I mean, from making records for years, I seem to think the best song to make quickly.
Right.
Okay. When you go into a studio, you get an idea, you make the track. It may be you're making about 3 or 4 hours and you're finishing it a day or two, but if you're sitting in there for a week trying to make the same record and you're making something wrong.
So, in fact, making tonight, by the end of tonight, is a blessing then?
If we made it yesterday, it'd be better.
Okay, so could you just play us finally what you've got all together?
Okay, this is sort of like the final version which we made. Hope you like it, good. Yeah, we got vocal as well, so it doesn't have to sing live. We've added vocoder. That's kind of the groove that you heard before, but then we just give it easy rises on the synth or something like that, just to give it some dynamics.
So tomorrow when you're on the beach, you can have a few in there. Sounds like The Cure. Tonight, it's clear.
Thank
there you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's Dirty Vegas with the IMS Anthem.
Go buy it in
2009.
stores now.
Yeah,
Beatport.
fantastic. Have we got any time for any questions, Pete? I think so. Right. Yeah, if there's anyone
5
out
minutes.
there. Fantastic. So, yes, can we get a microphone to anybody out there? There's one over
Not
there.
to Paulette.
Hi, I'm DJ Paulette. I just want to ask there's two questions. One, how do you decide about the levels when, if you're in Boston, you're in North London and you're in South, how do you decide between you about the levels? And if one person says, oh, I think the vocals should be louder, which I do right now, how
And
do you
me.
solve that?
We can take a vote on it on the.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, usually...
Who thinks the vocal's good or bad? Come on.
I think it's great.
Tell
right,
him
for you
straight,
to
come
make
on.
the vocals louder and bring the music down.
Well, I've actually noticed since I now live in America that the vocals have got lower and lower and lower. Right.
And me and him are getting like guitar solos and synth solos. It's like,
Yeah, we won't even play you the 12-inch version of that. It's like, you know, I mean, as far as levels, I think we're pretty kind of, you know, open about all kind of things. It's, you know, because obviously we respect each other's feelings, and if someone's really, really sure of like, you know, I don't like that lyric, or you know, the frequency of the guitars drowning out, you know, the vocal, or it's too much heavy stuff. I mean, you know, then we all speak and completely ignore each other and just, you know, and leave it. No, you know, we always find, you know, a happy medium with a mix anyway.
Does it take longer with the distance in between the three?
to
of
be
you?
honest,
Works.
it's been a bit of a godsend. We just literally work remotely, and he'll get an idea, I'll get an idea, and you feel like if you haven't done anything by the end of the day, you haven't worked on something. So we're doing tracks literally in a few hours between us, sending in 45 minutes. We're just sending stuff between each other, and literally someone hears an idea and they get it done, rather than sitting in the studio together and everyone just putting their oar in. So I think it works better, to be honest.
And then the most important thing as well is that through all of the kind of throwing ideas back across on the internet, every time we ever finish a track, it's always the three of us in the room. So we've never ever, like, one of us or two of us actually finish a track and just send it over. It's always, you know, we're either DJing or playing live in America, so it's the three of us over near Steve, or he comes to London. So it's always the three of us who are there when it goes down.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else at the front? Yeah.
I've noticed that you're working with audio all the way through. Is that purely because the CPU on the computer is too slow on a laptop, or is it because you just prefer working in audio?
No, because obviously we did this track 2 days ago in our studio, and in our studio is all vintage analog stuff. So the tracks are from Moogs and from Junos and stuff like that. So it's recorded down as audio. But if you see at the very bottom of the track somewhere, we've got the Moog there, there's the other Moogs, which are the live audio, which we just literally bounce down as audio parts. But yeah, it's true. Sometimes on the laptop like this, you can't run too many soft synths off the CPU. We just keep on crashing. And having this stutter and crash today wasn't not an option that we could do.
Anyone else? Oh, in the middle there.
Do you use more plugins or sampler libraries?
Plugins or sample libraries?
Oh, sorry. We use whatever source is possible. We use many a plugin, soft synths, Moogs, mini Moogs, all the Arturia stuff, all this stylus remix, and then it's always also sample libraries which you get off CDs, you can purchase, and then it's stuff because all three of us work in different studios. One day you go to a studio, you work with an amazing programmer and engineer, and you sort of swap sample libraries. So over the years we've amassed some amazing sounds.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jorge. Regarding quantize, do you quantize the live instruments as well? And if so, do you have your own templates, or do you use the Logic built-in ones?
No, I mean, in terms of, like, for example, recording like guitar or synths, it's probably better to even if you're only looking for like a 2-bar loop, it's actually probably better to actually play and just jam on it for like 3 minutes and then just go back through and just find the take that just nails it. I mean, obviously for drums, yeah, we would use certain quantized templates. A lot of the MPC stuff is fantastic for that.
Did you use a special one in this one, like one that you created, or you just
No,
took
but if you, I guess if you look online and Google, there is people have set up MPC templates for Logic, which you can pack as folders, and then you got like I don't know, this is your laptop, isn't it? Yeah. Haven't got it, but then we've got like 54C swings and stuff like that, which you can use within Logic. So it works like as an MPC.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Okay, over here.
Hello, my name is Dennis. I'm from Russia. And regarding the remixes, do you usually get remixed by famous artists, or is it possible for someone like anybody in this room can do a remix for you?
Well, I guess it shows. Our last track, the first track we put out together, Pressure, when we decided to remix, we used a guy called Sultan, and at the time no one was really using, and then we used him, and next thing you know, he's massive. I mean, Pete's been championing him since he's been in the mix and probably before, and I like to think we helped him establish, not that we're something massive, but we got his name to people, so no, of course. And I think at Beatport at the moment, there's parts to track change Pressure. So if you download the parts and send it to us, if it's good, then we'll certainly use it.
Anybody can remix it.
Yeah, so
My God, if your remix is better than our original, we'll use your remix, mate.
so it is better. I mean, so it is possible to get some stems from you, right?
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Give it a go.
Thank
Of course, no problem.
Fantastic. I think we're going to have to wrap up here, I'm afraid, but thank you very much to Dirty Vegas.
Thank you.